Coming up on today's show.
So on Sunday night, you 100% empty your container. That is key.
Is it okay to take and put 2 or 3 things on a note card and put it in?
And then we divide out our household responsibilities by those colors. These are our projects.
Sunday Basket Organizing Part 2 today on Keeping You Organized. Well, hello, welcome to Keeping You Organized. Today we are going to continue a discussion we started last time on Sunday basket organizing. Now, if you want to know what Sunday basket organizing is, you're going to have to go back and check out the previous episode because we get into the details of that. But this is something that Lisa Woodruff from Organized 365 is joining us right now. Lisa invented this process with a lot of principles of organizing built right into it. And Lisa, welcome back to Keeping You Organized.
Thanks, John. It's a pleasure to be back.
Well, great. Last time we actually ran out of time, and because we like to talk about time management and doing things in nice blocks of time, which is something I know you promote, we wanted to spend a little more time digging into this Sunday basket organizing. But why don't you, for those who haven't seen the first episode, just give us a real quick overview about what it is, and then we'll dig more into how you actually do it.
Sure. The Sunday basket is a box, a bag, or a basket that you set aside to collect all of your mail, all of your actionable to-dos, all of the ideas that you get Monday through Saturday. And then you set aside a chunk of time on Sunday to empty out that basket, go through all of those thoughts and mails and processes that have come in over the week, do as much as you can, prioritize what can get done the next week, and then let it sit until the following Sunday.
Okay, great. And we talked about the idea that this basket might be a watermelon-sized container, just to give you a visual on that. You keep it where it works for you and that you can have good access. Some people do it in their kitchen. Some people think that's terrible. So you just put it where it works for you, because you're going to do things like put your mail in there, and you're going to put in a little note cards maybe to remind you to do stuff. And then we talked about, Lisa, Sunday night comes, and just give us a quick review of what happens on Sunday night.
So on Sunday night, you 100% empty your container. That is key. And you need to touch everything. You open up all the mail, you process what needs to get done this week. And then I have a slash pocket system where I sort things into different colors for different actions that need to be taken. You do as much as you can do. And then as you put everything back in the Sunday basket, you ask yourself one question. Can this wait until next Sunday? If it can, it goes back in the basket and you don't think about it again until the following Sunday.
Great. And you know, there's a lot of things that we want to do. I always use this phrase with my wife that, oh, there's more to do than we have time to do. And that's a valid concern. So it's okay to delay things that maybe are not as high of a priority. And so we talked also last time about those slash jackets and the colors and what they represent. So, you know, Lisa, I think a lot of this, as you develop this, there's probably issues that everybody kind of runs into regarding, you know, keeping control of their stuff and their paperwork. How does that kind of relate here to the Sunday basket?
Well, the first thing is that they get their everyday mail under control pretty quickly within a couple of weeks. And then all of a sudden they're like, oh, I want all of my house in the Sunday, all of my paper in the Sunday basket. So they start emptying their file folders into the Sunday basket. I'm like, no. It's only for actionable paper. And so they need to start to go through other systems to get the rest of their paper organized. I think the reason why we have kitchen counter piles of paper and these unending to-do lists is because we don't trust ourselves to remember our fabulous ideas that we want to do in the future. And we don't have enough time to accomplish what we've set out to accomplish. Once you have a system where you can put these ideas and you can put your to-dos, and every week you get to pick and choose which ones you're going to focus on this week, you start to relax a little bit. You start to get even more creative, and people really, really grow into the Sunday basket and really, really love it as time goes on. You would think you would get more organized. You wouldn't need the Sunday basket. It actually frees you up to be more creative and more passionate and have more projects.
Okay, so back to the rules here now. Maybe you have those little note cards where you write like need a dentist appointment or whatever. Do you ever, is it okay to take and put 2 or 3 things on a note card and put it in?
Or yes.
You don't want to do one thought per note card?
Oh, and mine are so random because
Okay.
I'll have this thought listening to this podcast, and then this thought because a child walked in, and then this thought because I was in my email, and I'm like, now, why was I thinking this? And half of my note cards just flat out get thrown away. Either they naturally got done, or that was a crazy idea. Why would I start podcast number 3? Like, so never know.
Right. Yeah, I know. It's one of those things where you don't want the rules necessarily to overwhelm you too. So, but if you, I think as David Allen talked about, if you can get it out of your mind and you know it's somewhere, at least your mind will release that and it won't clutter your other thinking doing other things, I guess. So maybe that kind of ties into this a little bit.
Yes, I've heard that this is very much like Getting Things Done, and I'm ashamed to say I've never read Getting Things Done.
Okay.
I probably should do that.
Well, yeah, it should be Getting Things Done on Sunday. But there's
okay.
some similarities. And, we're talking principles here, too. So, I mean, it's good to, take and spend focus time, for example, on certain things. Like instead of, setting appointments, 10 different times during the week, if you take all your appointment setting and maybe put it in one time, that's got to be more efficient, I would think.
Well, and I also think too, the solution the Sunday Basket had for me was I never had trouble with my business goals, I've always been self-employed, or when I had, when I was a teacher, when I was teaching, I never had trouble with that. But I did have trouble with these nebulous household things. Like, you're supposed to change that furnace filter every month. How do you know when the last time you did that was? And time just goes so fast and the weekends fly by and we don't want to take our free time and devote it to household maintenance. But it does take like over 20 hours to maintain a house every week, even without children.
Okay.
And so we need to kind of set aside that time, treat it like a job or a project. Your household is a job. And then you could make it quicker and you can make it more productive instead of trying to ignore it and pretend like we don't need to have the time set aside for our house.
Okay, you brought up a great example there, changing your filter, because that's kind of a recurring event. So how do you do that with do you have a card that stays in there that says, how do you do furnace filter changing with the Sunday Basket system? I'm curious now.
Yeah. Okay. So when you take the class from me, and this is a free printable you can get on the organize365.com website, you get this planning printable. It's two-sided if I print it, but it's 2 PDFs that you print out. Yeah. And one is where you go through and you plan out your week. That's how in the last podcast, I talked about where I figure out my work time is. That's the highlighted boxes. And what your top 3 are for the day, if they're work or home or combination. You don't want 3 of each, just 3 total. And then on the back here, I have a weekly checklist that you would go through and you would check off, like, charging all your different tablets and things and going through your email and double checking your text messages. My kids text message me things and I need to go through and double check their text messages. Now, I don't have it in the Sunday Basket, but in my 100-day program, I have in here a bill pay checklist. And on the bill pay checklist each month also has all those things that you want to do in your house each month.
Ah, great. Yeah. So
these systems go together. Yes.
Okay. So now just rabbit trailing here a little bit. When you look at your calendar, what is does the calendar kind of drive some of that decision making too? Would the replace filter be on your calendar, or on your calendar would it say, review Sunday Basket, 8 p.m. Sunday review weekly checklist?
Yes. So I use a Google Calendar. I don't use a paper planner, but you did just see me write out my list. Yep. And I would say I do this at least twice a month. And when I used to do this before my Google Calendar was organized and I had an executive assistant, I definitely did this every single week. So what happens is I try to get all of my Sunday Basket activities done on Sunday. I may spend 3 or more hours a week doing Sunday Basket activities. But for me, that's filling pill containers. Go ahead and change out that filter thing. We wash the dog bowls in the dishwasher once a month, wash the washing machine, clean the oven. Anything that's on that list for me gets done on Sunday. I don't put it on my list to do on Tuesday because when Monday morning comes until Thursday night, I'm 100% focused on my business.
Great.
Friday, I focus on myself. Saturday, I focus on the family. And Sunday, I focus on the Sunday Basket and the household. And that just works for me.
Oh, that's a nice overview there too. We're going to take a quick break here, and when we come back, I want to talk about organizing projects, because sometimes, things are more than just one little to-do, make an appointment, make a phone call. A project involves many pieces to it. So when we come back, we'll talk about that. We're with Lisa Woodruff, Organize365.com, talking about Sunday basket organizing, and we'll be right back.
Now there's a place just for you. Life can be busy, and you still have to keep it all together. That's why you like to be organized and in control. Introducing MyOrganize.life, a special place where you can get ideas and solutions to organize what's important to you, your important papers, your important decisions, your important life events. We show you the ideas and products to stay organized in your life. See what's new. Stop by and say hello. Visit us at any time at www.myorganize.life. It's just for you. MyOrganize.life by Smead. Find us at www.myorganize.life. MyOrganize.life.
We're back now on Keeping You Organized, talking about Sunday basket organizing with Lisa Woodruff, Organize365.com. And Lisa, so we kind of alluded to this before the break a little bit, this concept of, okay, this visualizes really well as, task list, check off those one kinds of things, make a phone call, set an appointment. How about when you're dealing with projects, maybe something that's taking, several weeks, a house remodeling or whatever a project might be? Give us an example how project management can be used within the Sunday basket organizing system.
So this is how I've been doing my Sunday basket for the last 5 years, and I needed to actually physically manufacture my own slash pockets in order to teach other people how to do it, because I needed to get 5 slash pockets that would all be the same color, and they're not manufactured that way. So I had manufacturers do that and do them in 4 colors, and then we divide out our household responsibilities by those colors. These are our projects. So the pink color is for my personal projects. Those are the things that I'm just personally working on. They don't necessarily get done every single week, but they are my focus. So like a couple of mine are recipes, not because I'm the cook, my husband is, but because one of my good friends' husbands has cancer. And so I make one meal a week for her. So I try a new meal every week. It's great for her. It's great for my husband. It's fun and different, but it's a personal goal that I have. Another color is green, because I showed you in the original slash pockets, there's a green for bill pay, but whose bills can fit in one pocket? So this is for all the other like money things in your family. For us, we have medical bills, we have college, we have different business LLCs. You may have different money goals, but those are our money goals. And then blue is family. And so I have 2 children. Each of my children have a slash pocket. And graduation party has a slash pocket, and our summer plans have a slash pocket. And then usually I have like a seasonal holiday one, but at this time, Christmas is over and there isn't another seasonal holiday I'm planning for right now. So it's okay to have empty slash pockets in there, but this helps me plan my family. And then purple, the purple color for me is for household. This is where you would plan a move or a remodeling project. Or for me, this is where I put things that are to scan, or I'm going to file into binders, or things like that. It could be landscaping, outdoor projects, anything household related. So that helps you divide out your actionable things that are in your basket that aren't going on the calendar and aren't bills to pay, but they're personal goals or family goals or financial goals or household goals. It gives you a place for all of those projects. Like, we want to put on a deck, and I have the quote in there for the last 6 months, but it's probably going to be a year before we do that deck. But I have a household improvement slash pocket, so I can keep that actionable item there until it's time for us to pull out that quote and make that deck.
Okay, so yeah, I think we're onto something here. So you have those folders, they're in that box, right? The basket.
Yep.
But maybe some weeks you don't deal with them, some weeks you do. So let's say let's go back to your deck example. Maybe this week you got a special offer in the mail for 10% off your deck project or something, something related to that. When you're sorting things out in that very initial phase, do you go ahead and just put that right in that right into that folder, or is there a different are the projects actually part of the piles that you're initially sorting into?
Right. I do initially sort into those. And we talked about in the last podcast how I go through these basic 5. You're going to do these every single week. You're going to look at every single piece of paper. But I go one at a time on these.
Okay.
For these, I look at the whole group. So I go, okay, I'm thinking about me. I'm not buying clothing this week. I already got my recipe out. We're not doing home improvement, travel, or date night this week. Like, I'm done. I can scan the titles and say these are done and put them back in.
Okay.
Now for my kids, I told you I have teenagers. So my kids each have a pocket. I do go through everything in these slash pockets every single week, just like I do these, because there's so much going on with my kids right now. So those I individually go through. The money ones I just look at. That's really, I do bookkeeping at the end of the month. College, I just called the college about a roommate, but I really haven't done anything that's in there. And these slash pockets get thick. You put a lot of stuff in there.
Right.
So you can tell the project ones, you don't have to go through everything every time. You'll know which ones you need to check every week.
Right. So just to clarify, that box that you're putting those folders in, is that the same as the basket that you're putting everything into?
Yeah, this is the Sunday basket. It's coming out April 1st, 2018. And it has a divider in there so you can keep your slash pocket standing upright.
Okay.
And we made it a box, not a basket, because shipping a basket is not easy.
Right, yeah.
So it is a Sunday basket, but it's a box.
Okay, great. Well, we're almost out of time here. Anything else as far as what we haven't covered yet that relates to the Sunday basket, either from project management or just regular weekly routine, or even maybe success stories of little wins that people have had using it?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is just that time mindset shift, realizing that we spend a lot of time in our houses and they require a lot of thought and planning, and that to just go ahead and set aside that time. Now, I do mine on Sunday still, but there are a lot of people in my audience that it's a Wednesday morning or Friday night or whatever day of the week. It needs to be the same day and the same time every week in order for you to do it every week. And just set aside that time. You will notice changes in your productivity and how your household runs within 4 to 6 weeks.
Great. Well, Lisa, why don't you let people know how they can get a hold of you and maybe some of the resources you have and services that you provide as well?
Sure. If you go to organize365.com, again, you could scroll down and get that free printable that I told you about. That'll put you on my email list, which will send you a couple of emails that'll teach you how to make your Sunday basket. You can also go to thesundaybasket.com. There's a podcast over there as well, teach you for free how to make your Sunday basket. And then once you're in and your Sunday basket is working, you may want to get your whole house organized through my 100-day program. Or I have different binders for all of those other paper things that you would organize that are not Sunday basket papers.
Great. Well, Lisa, thank you so much. This has been a great 2-part podcast episodes here, and we will definitely have the links, folks. We've mentioned many things in here to the podcast and the resources that she has on her website. And I'm sure, Lisa, will be bringing you back again because just by looking at those, manuals on the back, there's probably more you have to offer us, isn't there?
And there is, John. I would love to come back again. Thank you.
Great. All right, folks. Well, there you go. Get yourself a Sunday basket, put it together, visit Lisa's site, get the free downloadable printable, or however you pronounce that, and you'll be on your way, and we'll see you next time on Keeping You Organized.